Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, I guess Donald Trump wasn't so crazy after all, now was he? You know, that typical Trump campaigning style, elect me and I'm gonna make mountains move. It's just gonna happen, you gotta trust me.
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly.
Before I even step into office, I'm gonna make this thing happen. It's the type of rhetoric that makes the pseudo-intellectuals in the media lose their mind. They essentially call him a nutcase every time he says something like this. But then, of course, Donald Trump actually gets elected, and we're right back to the first thing that I said in the video. Now it's so crazy after all, huh? It hasn't even been a week since Donald Trump has gained the title President-elect, once again for the second time, and already many of the big ambitious promises that Donald Trump presented in his incredible 2024 campaign seem to be coming to fruition, or at least the puzzle pieces are starting to be put into place. The dominoes have started to fall, and it's now been dubbed the Trump effect. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright friends, so I didn't exactly go into detail in that intro, but I'm sure you'll understand it's pretty clear. I present to you the Trump effect.
Donald Trump's not even president yet, and have you seen what's happened in the last 48 hours? The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff. The Taliban announced they want peace with America and to be taken off the terrorist list.
Turning to Afghanistan, where the Taliban have reacted to Trump's win by saying they hope it opens a new chapter in relations with the US. The interim government's foreign ministry spokesperson, Abdul Kahar Bahi, posted a statement on X following the election results. He expressed hope that the incoming administration would adopt a pragmatic approach to advance ties between the two sides.
Putin came out and said that Western civilization is not an enemy. Mexico has started securing the border in, of course, response to tariff threats.
Well, believe it or not, Grant, I said it before, on the day of the elections, massive caravan, 3,000 people started walking. And just as people knowing on the 6th of November, the migrants and everybody started noticing that Donald Trump just became president. The Mexican authorities started acting and started going to this large group, trying to decrease the large group from continuing to walk on the north of the state of Chiapas to go in direction to the northern borders of Mexico with the United States. Started telling them, the migrants, that you continue to walk, you can have an accident, possibly, you can dehydrate yourself, go back and do your process correctly. The migrants started, we started asking them what are their thoughts of now Donald Trump winning the presidency and becoming the 47th president. They said that they are completely disappointed, that they were thinking that Kamala Harris was going to win, and now that it's going to be extremely difficult for them to enter the United States of America because they know that there's going to be a massive deportation.
All right, Oscar, let me get this straight. So Mexico now taking an active role in trying to discourage the caravans. This, to me, means that while Joe Biden was president and Kamala Harris, the borders are, they could have actively taken a role for the last 4 years and didn't. Is that a safe assessment?
Yes, it's a safe assessment. And I will tell you one thing that Donald Trump loves this word, and it is called tariff. This is the reason why the Mexican authorities have started acting. When he was president, he put a threat of a tariff of a 5% tariff in the automobile industry, avocado and beer. Now that he has taken power again, he said to he sent a message to the new Mexican president, said, if you continue with this, I will put 25% tariffs on everything that you're sending to the United States. So now the Mexican president had known that he has become president. They started acting. Now slowly they're going to start acting. But it doesn't take away the fact, Grant, there's going to be a massive flow on these last 2 months arriving to the borders, trying to make it and trying to reach for it.
Yeah. Well, great reporting, Oscar, and it just goes to show you the difference President Trump makes literally in just 2 days. Oscar Ramirez, thank you.
Saudi Arabia is kicking out all of their Hamas leaders. New York is cleaning up their illegal migrant crisis. Xi Jinping came out and said he wants to peacefully coexist with China and said that they respect American people. The European Union chief finally came out and said, hey, America, can we start buying LNG from you so they stop buying from Russian gas? Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously, and Russia supports it.
То, что господин Трамп, как кандидат в президенты, заявляет о том, что он готов и хочет остановить войну на Украине, мы к этому относимся вполне серьезно. Я не знаком, разумеется, с его возможными предложениями по поводу того, как он собирается это сделать. И это, конечно, ключевой вопрос. Но я не сомневаюсь, что он говорит это искренне, и мы это поддержим.
The Houthis are stepping back. The Hamas called for an immediate end to war. He's calling for term limits in from Congress so that way people like Nancy Pelosi stop being forever members. Stock markets and crypto hit all-time highs.
What's it been, 4 or 5 days? Donald Trump isn't even president yet, he's president-elect. It's been 4 days as I'm recording this video and 5 days as you're seeing this video, and already it feels like the world is healing already. Frankly, it feels like America standing on the world stage is actually making a difference for the first time in 3 years and 10 months. You know, just like that, all of a sudden, America has an impact on the world. I wonder what that could be. Well, of course, you're probably already thinking it. It's called strong, competent leadership, and most importantly, presence. Donald J. Trump has just been elected as 47th president of the United States, and instantly it's as if the planet hit a reset button. The reports are streaming in from every corner of the globe, and conflicts that have dragged on now for years are suddenly cooling down. Adversaries are talking about peace, and nations are aligning in a way that we haven't seen in a long time. And why is that the case? Because people know that they finally have to get in line. No more blank check for your deepest and wild ambitions. No longer the Cheney warmongering approach of we'll fight this thing no matter how long it takes and no matter how many people die. No, now it's the Trump approach.
Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying.
He just wants people to stop dying. And of course, it's beyond the sentiment. It's most importantly that people know he's serious, and he's going to put his foot down to make sure it happens. Both sides understand this. I mean, let's just talk Ukraine for an instance. The moment Trump gets elected, both sides know they have to play ball. They have to come to the negotiating table because Trump holds leverage on both of them, and they know that he's going to use it. Not blah, blah, blah and pretend, like the previous administration, canceling their own Keystone XL pipeline project while greenlighting the Russians. Oh, we're being real hard on Putin as they allow him to continue selling billions of dollars of energy to Europe, funding the exact war that they're funding on the other side. I mean, it's idiotic. Well, now the adults are back in charge. And Trump's serious when he says he wants the conflict to end so the world can focus on moving forward and prospering. He's focused on the people prospering, not the military-industrial complex prospering. It's a different approach. Previous American administrations have always taken this hardline stance, this hard-ass stance. You're gonna do as we say or else, and it's always escalated issues abroad. This sort of world policing, imposing your own beliefs on foreign nations, and waging war if they don't comply. You know, maybe following the rise of communism, there was a certain value to it, but at this point, I think a lot of people are understanding that it's time to stop meddling in other people's affairs.
すいません。黙っていれば、轟くんにあんなこと言っておいて、僕は。
君は彼に何かもたらそうとしていた。
確かに、轟くん悲しすぎて、余計なお世話を考えてしまった。
確かに残念な結果だ。バカをしたと言われても仕方のない結果だ。でもな、余計なお世話ってのはヒーローの本質でもある。
That invention is worth a fortune.
And it would have been mine if it hadn't been for those meddling kids.
Trying a different approach of using American might, not to force the world into submission, but to force the world to come to the negotiating table, to slowly and diplomatically get foreign nations to start playing ball. It's that age-old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Trump understands this, and look, the typical warhawk types seem to despise it. They think it's a bad strategy that's going to backfire, but at this point I think the reaction from a lot of people is, well, you know, what you've been doing for the last however many decades hasn't exactly been working. You know, the risk of World War III and all. And so how long do you keep doing the same thing over and over again expecting different results? I think there's just a general embrace for really any shift in approach. People like the Trump approach. He may not be achieving the quick results that a military conquest would achieve, but who knows, maybe things get better over time. And just think about the last however many decades. It's not like the American war machine is winning any of these wars and bringing peace and stability to any of these regions. They seem involved in what's called forever wars, endless wars.
Sinclair.
Commander, you better get up here.
What is it this time?
Jakar and Londo are approximately half an inch from killing each other.
Gentlemen, I've been up for almost 2 days straight with no sleep. This makes me a very cranky man.
Yes, we've noticed. Have you considered meditation?
Ambassador Jakar, you will return Ambassador Malari's statue.
Commander, I really must protest. Do you
Jakar
accuse
will
me?
return the statue.
And that is all I ask. That and his head on a platter.
Ambassador Malari, I ran a check on the Jaquan F and discovered it had a chemical composition which makes it a controlled botanical substance, illegal to possess except for legitimate medical or religious purposes.
Ridiculous. It is no more harmful than a bottle of your whiskey.
File a protest if you wish, but you'll have to turn the plant over to me. You'll be fully compensated.
All right, Commander. You may have the Jaquan F.
Thank you, Ambassador.
I have already gotten my enjoyment from it anyway.
Ambassador Jakar, when you have returned Lando's statue, I'll turn the Jaquan F over to you. And you'll compensate Lando for it, full price.
Why should I turn the statue over? Assuming that I knew where it was, when it's already too late for the ceremony. Molari knows that. That's why he gave in so easily.
This ritual is supposed to be performed in the sunlight that has touched the Jaquan Mountain on a particular day at a particular time, right?
Yes.
But as your people went into space, it wasn't always possible to be at the foot of that mountain and pray in that sunlight.
Yes, yes. If we can't be there, we must still make our prayers at the same moment as those on our planet.
What you forgot to take into account is that sunlight also travels through space. Think about it. This station is 12.2 light years from Narn. That's just a little over 10 of your light years. The sunlight that touched Jaquan Mountain 10 of your years ago will reach this station in 12 hours. It's been on a long journey, but it's still the same sunlight. Good enough for you to conduct your ceremony. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. It might be. Commander, you are a far more spiritual man than I gave you credit for.
There are a couple of Jesuit teachers I know who might disagree with you. I want that statue returned.
I'm sure a careful search will turn it up. I'll see to it immediately. Commander, thank you.
And you know, it feels almost as if this time the world understands Trump's intentions, and people are already getting on board. And if that's the case, I mean, what does it all mean for the American people? Well, it means potentially entering an era of renewed focus on American interests, real peace deals, and of course what follows during times of peace, economic prosperity. I don't know about you guys, but I have a heightened sense of optimism. It feels like this time, Trump's going in this thing with less obstruction and a clear mandate. He has an opportunity to deliver on his promise to truly make America great again in a way that goes beyond rhetoric. Imagine what can be accomplished if Trump is actually able to govern here without the relentless obstruction that plagued his first term. Imagine if we see an end to these wars and a start of America for the first time in a long time looking within. We're talking revitalizing the economy, securing the border, strengthening alliances, and truly putting America first, and hopefully leading the world by example. Not forcing American values on the rest of the world, but rather showing the world exactly what America is all about.
Addison. You up?
A little bit.
Okay. I need you to go in that bathroom, take that bleach, Fabuloso, and Pine-Sol, and clean that tub out.
I already did.
You already did. Go downstairs right now and unload that dishwasher.
I did that earlier.
Go in that laundry room, take those clothes out that dryer, and fold them and put them up.
Done. I did that.
I want you to pull my car out the garage, and I want you to clean my tires. I want you to get some armor.
Oh, I did that.
You getting smart?
No, I already did all that though.
I need you to go in this room right here and clean it up.
I already did.
You mowed that lawn?
Mm-hmm.
You take those trash cans off the curb?
Mm-hmm.
What haven't you done?
Slept.
My name is Dr. Nick Peterson, and I specialize in those suffering from TDS. Trump derangement syndrome. Hello. I'm Dr. Peterson. How are you? Well, Donald Trump is a felon. Nope. I asked how you were doing. They are completely blind to the fact that their absurd actions and ideologies were a big factor in their party's loss. Let me ask you this. Do you even know what a democracy is? Follow-up question. Do you know how Kamala Harris became the nominee? I know you're a deplorable Nazi fascist bigot.
I don't know, like I just said, I feel like I have this incredible sense of optimism right now. It feels like there's a psychological realignment. Like Trump derangement syndrome is at an all-time low, and people just know what to expect, and it's almost as if, common sense is prevailing. Actually, as I'm recording this, I'm scrolling Twitter, and look what pops up on my timeline.
I do think that Europe needs to take more responsibility, but this is probably one of the incentives also to start ending the war or trying to find some kind of a peace settlement. I think the money funnels at the end of the day are going to be a little bit more in a win-win situation because, of course, when the war is over, it's going to be all about reconstruction. And suddenly we're going to start seeing a lot of companies, European, American, and others, who want to come and do the reconstruction of Ukraine. But I do think that Europeans understand that we have to take more responsibility, but we will survive, and we will survive together with the United States.
It's been 4 days and the president of Finland is now finally talking about Europe taking responsibility and that it's now time to call an end to the war. 4 days as president-elect and he's already accomplished some of his biggest promises, and it seems almost as if he's accomplished more than Joe Biden and Kamala did in 4 years. It's that Trump magic, baby. They call it crazy, but every single time, fast forward a couple months, a couple years, and we're right back in the same position, saying the same damn thing. We frickin' told you so.
Because I think it's going to have to be the Republicans that put on the big boy pants here, and they're going to have to be the reconciliation party and the party that reaches out to the other side and the party that doesn't do the lawfare and vindictiveness.
Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.